Hello, everybody. My name's Craig.
I'm Brian.
I'm Burke.
And I'm Michelle.
And this is Get Dunked On, the podcast.
When I wake up, well, you know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you.
Where? What do you mean? I don't. Usually, there's some form of a tie. I'm not sure where that ties into.
It's because we're all embarrassed for Brian.
First off, singing in public each and every single week is embarrassing enough, okay? Normally that's the thing that I reserve just for my drives to and from work, and then also when I'm drunk. So, like, it's kind of one of those things where this is a very special thing I share with everybody each and every week, even though I'm not confident in it. So, boom, there you go.
I love it.
Okay. All right. So I've got something that's happened this past week that I want to vent about for a little bit. You guys ready?
Sure.
So, really cool thing. I was able to pick up a couple of different monitors for my computer on Saturday. They're two like the super wides, and so I was really pumped up to bring them back home and try and start setting them up and seeing how I could do it and see if I could get them in my stand. Because I've got like a 4-monitor mount thing that I've got everything on, but these are huge and I'm in a corner and I don't know where they're going to fit and all this other stuff. So I'm super pumped up to do this. I take care of what I need to Saturday morning to go open up my afternoon to do this. I come back home at 1 o'clock or something like that. And I start getting to work, taking down, unscrewing all the other stuff that I've got around here, redoing some cables, moving everything, and that takes me about an hour and a half of me fiddling, putting up, going, I don't like it here, moving something, going back up, fiddling everything again. Right. So I'm an hour and a half into it and I don't have the air on or anything. And you guys know I sweat a lot. So I'm sitting there, I'm already dripping sweat onto my keyboard. I had to move the keyboard because there's so much sweat getting everywhere.
Oh God.
And it was pretty warm on Saturday in the house because it snowed that morning here. And so Sarah was like, I have to fight the snow by heating this place to 94 degrees. So it was super warm in the house. It's about 3:30 at this point, and I've kind of got things set up and I'm trying to mess with a couple other things, and Burke can attest. Him and I were kind of talking back and forth a little bit here and there, and I'm kind of finishing up.
You guys were talking as you did everything?
What?
Not the whole time. Not the whole time. Not the whole time.
No.
This time.
Maybe you should record it and put it on as a podcast or something.
This is just the tail end of this setup process.
Our conversations were like, Craig, are you okay? And I would get
Did you get really concerned when he spent a whole 3 hours not talking to you?
pretty much. I was kind of crying because Saturday is my Craig day.
Aww,
So at the end of it, I'm having a little bit of problems. So I'm asking Bert questions like, hey, this isn't working. What do I do to fix this? My wife comes home during this thing and she goes, hey, why didn't you answer your phone? I look over. I had my headset on and I was talking to Bert. I look over and I have 4 missed calls and I have 6 new text messages.
You were talking to your real wife.
Exactly. And I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. What happened? And I somehow missed it. And she needed help on something and I wasn't paying attention. Fuck, this is going to be bad. He goes, hey, one of my friends needs help. I was like, okay, what do they need? They're moving today and they need help moving. I was like, are you serious? I was like, it's 3:30. It's 3:30 in the afternoon and we're just now going to start helping someone move. She goes, yeah, they really need help. Everyone bailed on them. It's like, okay, do I really have to?
Yeah, you're chalk 2 more up on that bail list because you ain't going.
I was like, because I really don't want to do this. I've got this stuff that I'm messing with right now. It wasn't even really finished all that much. I still wanted to do some other things to kind of perfect it. It's like, I don't really want to, and I'm kind of already tired, and it's coming up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm going to start helping someone move. She goes, don't worry. They have everything packed up. They have everything they need. They just need help moving some of the big stuff into the truck because they don't have anybody to help move the couches and all this other stuff. It's just the guy and the girl, and she doesn't have the strength to move some of the bigger things. I was like, is this going to take very long? He goes, no. I was like, well, I don't think that's right, but okay, whatever. There's no way I'm winning this one. Right. So we drive there. And she puts the address in to her phone. I just listen to the GPS and drive there. We start pulling into we're about to pull into this place. And I'm like, oh, this is a U-Haul. Why are we at U-Haul? She goes, oh, well, they don't have a truck. What? I was like, what do you mean they don't have a truck? He said all they needed help was just putting the big stuff into the truck. She goes, yeah, well, they don't have a truck and they need to use ours so we can tow a unit behind. I was like, okay, are you serious? But whatever, not a big deal. We get in there. The guy that's trying to set all this stuff up is trying to help us. He's not doing very well with helping us. He's talking on the phone the whole time, like his cell phone, and he is totally talking to this girl and trying to set something up for the next night. He's doing that the entirety of while we're talking with him. And he tries to set up the hitch on my vehicle. And I was like, we didn't have a hitch. So we ended up having to buy the hitch, right? I mean, I wanted a hitch anyway, because we're going to eventually need a hitch, I would assume. I was like, oh, whatever, we'll just buy that. It's not a big deal. So he gets all the stuff set up. Oh, we find out for some reason, nothing's working with the power sources. So we can't get any of the blinkers or anything to work. So then we had to rent an actual like 17-foot truck. And so the girl afterwards comes out to me and she goes, hey, I really don't feel comfortable driving this. Can you drive it? And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm going to drive this truck over there. And then that's when it's her and her boyfriend or whoever this guy is. I don't know what their exact relationship was.
You said the guy was like trying to hook up with some other girl.
No, that was the guy helping us, like the worker at U-Haul.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The guy at U-Haul was trying to. I
thought like he's like just the complete scumbag, and he's just like yeah, baby, we're gonna meet up tomorrow. Oh, hey, hon, help me unload the shit.
No. It was definitely the worker. He was on the phone trying to mac on some chick elsewhere, right? Yeah. So she hands me the keys. I'm like, I'm just gonna drive this thing back, and the boyfriend can drive it elsewhere because I don't want to deal with this. I just want to get it there, be done with this, and then move on with my day.
Sure.
So I drive it back. And a little bit later, I'm thinking back to other times I've rented a U-Haul, and every single time they have to take your license. They tell you, you are the only person allowed to do this unless if you add other people on for the licensing on it. Like, it's very much paperwork, legal stuff, liabilities, blah, all this stuff on there, insurance. And I'm driving this thing illegally right now. That's what's happening. Mm-hmm. So I get there, I park the car. Nothing bad happened, thank God. I get there, and the guy and the girl starts talking about I start asking about liability. It's like, do they not want me to sign anything because I don't feel comfortable driving this thing again because I'm not signed on this, and I don't want it to be somehow some insurance jack because some guy hits me when I'm driving,
right?
Or even less likely, in my opinion, I hit somebody else by doing something stupid. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. This is your guys' stuff. She goes, well, there really wasn't paperwork involved. He says he's taking the truck down to Florida the next day with this girl that he was talking to on the phone. So he rented me the truck for the whole night for $50. I was like, okay, we're in a different realm of this isn't right. And I just drove this truck. If someone had pulled me over, I could have been probably lumped in for like Grand Theft Auto or something. I don't know.
Easily. No. That's shady. Like, that's shady as it gets.
I was like, no, I'm not touching this truck again. You guys can do whatever you want. I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. So we get up into their apartment. It's a 1-story walk up for them. I get up into the apartment. Oh, look. They haven't started packing yet. Everything's laid out. Like, I mean, you can see there's a couple boxes here and there, but for the most part, it could have looked like just a bad Amazon day where a bunch of Amazon shit came in and there's one corner that had some stuff in it. I mean, like sheets on the bed, like everything was just, it looked very livable the way it was. I was like, and this whole thing over at U-Haul took like, I don't know, an hour some odd. So it's like 5:30 now.
At that point I would have left.
Wow.
I was like, are you serious? I was like, are you absolutely serious? This is happening? So
and let me guess, they were acting like it's totally fine and normal.
We start moving crap down.
How good of a friend is this of your wife's?
Oh, that's part of the story. Hold on.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay.
So we go through.
That's part of the story. She's getting a kidney.
so we move all the stuff down, and it takes us till about 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's 7:15. 7:15 exactly is when we're finished up putting everything. So it took us about 2.5 hours to get everything into their vehicle. And the whole time, the dude is just doing this. Whenever I go, we're like, what should we put in first? And I'm going, what do you guys want to put in first? It doesn't matter. Like, just tell me what to pick up and what to do. I'm just hired muscle for the moment right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I don't know. What do you think we should do? I was like, what, now I have to plan this whole thing too?
Oh my God.
So I was the one directing everybody what to take down during this whole thing to go into this U-Haul. And they had like 17. You remember Frankendesk, Brian? The difficulty we had with Frankendesk? Imagine that. But that's with 3 different dressers that are just as like thick wood and heavy. And the one time the guy I was like, we should take the drawers out. And he goes, well, there's nothing in them. So let's just do this as is. So we start taking it out and he can barely pick up some of this stuff. And we get it about halfway out the door. And I was like, are you sure these are empty? I open them up. The whole thing is just stuffed with clothes and different things in these dressers. This is like a 12 drawer dresser. It's like a 3x4. This thing's huge and it's wood. And he still had all this crap. I was like, we got to take this stuff out, dude. What is going on?
You're kidding me.
This ain't gonna work, dude.
Yeah. So I'm cutting out a lot of crap where I'm just like the whole time going, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. A couple times I sat down. I was like, you guys can keep working. I'm done for a minute. I'm just going to sit here because it was just small stuff. And I was like, I don't care about the small stuff. I was told I was coming here for big stuff and that was it.
It seriously reminds me of when I was helping Tony move down to Florida there. I had helped him and then like, basically like we got down there and we unloaded all of his stuff during the morning. So Tony was essentially fully like he wasn't like set up, but he was moved into his new apartment by mid-afternoon, right? And then we're like, sweet, we did all we had to do. And the truck was half filled with the other guy's stuff, like who he had shared a U-Haul cost with and just driven it down. So I was like, okay, well that's all in one location in the truck. We pulled it over in front of that guy's place, dropped him the keys, and we're like, well, we did it, right? Well, sure enough, that night he's like, hey, you guys want to come over for pizza and a beer? And I'm like, it's a trap, Tony, don't do it. He's like, no, we're gonna go over there and have pizza and a beer and also haul up everything I own because he didn't unload a fucking thing. He sat around the pool all day waiting for everyone else to show up. And he's like, here's like 2 slices of pizza and a shitty warm beer. And he's like, and go ahead and haul these up 3 flights of stairs for me. And I'm like, I don't even know you and I don't like you.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I was going. I've literally never met these people before. And so I'm assuming this must be a girl that helps Sarah get through the day when she's having bad days, because she talks about there's one friend there, you know, and this is how good I am. I don't know the girl's name. And I honestly don't remember what the girl's name was on Saturday either. That one may have purposely omitted from my memory. I don't know. But like we start driving and it's been 2.5 hours of lifting, stuff like that. I'm actually pretty tired. We start driving and at 7:15, I go, wow, Sarah, these guys were super prepared. And she starts apologizing. She's like, I am so sorry. They told me it was just this. So I was like, I just want to let you know when somebody says that, it's never the case. Because the people that have it together, they don't need the help. Right. Like this is never the case. Like whenever this kind of stuff happens and it's this late in the day, it's bad planning.
Yes.
Bad things happen beforehand. Otherwise, they would have been done. You know, and you would have had a different person to worry about. And they would have been, you know, they probably have been very... they would have had somebody show up from because like their parents canceled and this person I was like, not that many people canceled all in one day to help them out. Like it just didn't happen. Anyway, I was like, well, thank goodness this is the girl that however I put it, I was like, thank goodness it's the girl that, you know, helps you get through your day when you're having those bad days. And she goes, oh, this isn't her. I was like, what? She goes, oh no, this is a girl we hired on last month. I haven't got to talk to her much, but she seems nice.
Oh no, she doesn't. She seems dead.
I just sat there staring straight ahead. I was about 10 seconds, it felt like, and I was like, are you fucking serious? Are you absolutely fucking serious right now? Like, you're not messing with me? You're dead serious? She's like, yeah, I talked to her throughout the day a little bit here and there, but you know, it's not a ton. But she started working a month ago, 2 months ago, whatever it was, and she just like really needed help, and I felt like we needed to help her. It's like, I was like, I'm gonna harken back to a show that we've both watched, Sarah. It's called How I Met Your Mother. Mm-hmm. They've got rules. It's called fucking hire movers. Yes. At this point, like, yeah, if you plan it all out and everything beforehand, if you're good friends or good family, yeah, you can get help from that. You don't. I don't want to help somebody I don't know at all in this situation. Don't care with moving. Maybe we could have helped out some other way, like well wishes. I don't know, prayers, a seance. Fucking, I'll do that. But I don't want to go help these
Prayers,
people.
a
I have no
seance.
idea who they are and help them move. Oh, and they moved like 45 minutes away, so we had to drive for 45 minutes to get to the new place.
Oh my god.
The new place had probably the smallest parking in the world. And it was packed because, it's 10 o'clock at night when we're trying to, or well, it was 9 o'clock at night when we're trying to move them in, right? Like, it's super late already. Or no, it was 8 o'clock. Sorry, 8 o'clock. So it was 7:15, 45 minutes. It was 8 o'clock when we got there, which she told her that's when we had to leave. But of course, like, you can't move a person halfway and then be like, okay, I'm going to go fuck off now. Like, I'm already in it. I might as well finish this type thing.
No, you can.
I didn't. I couldn't do it because I saw it halfway through and I was going to finish this so that Sarah owed me big time.
Nice.
And now you're like, and now it's like, and now I have 3 Switches and unlimited time to play them.
And thank the fucking Lord that when we got there, the girl just like, because I wouldn't have done this day one. She went around just knocking on everybody's door, asking who was the cars out front so we could park there. Like, can you move your car? Because we want to move this thing in here. And thank God, the like second door she knocked on, the people were the ones basically right out in front. And it was the nicest couple. They looked, I don't know, 25, 30-ish, like somewhere in that range. They looked, they were the nicest couple. They came out and helped move every piece of furniture into that house.
No.
Wow,
Couches,
that's awesome.
dressers, all this crap. And I mean, obviously I don't work out, for those of you've seen me lately. And it is, at the very end of it, I literally could barely carry a box into the house. I tried to pick up one of the dressers and it was just like pulling up and I was like, oh, and I'm going down. I was like, I can't do it. I'm done. I literally have to tap out. And for the first time in years, I have a bruise just from moving.
Wow.
things.
You're like, that's what that felt like.
It was just the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Greg, I'll tell you what. If I was that couple, I'd be embarrassed. Man, I mean, I've had stories like that. You always prepare before you ask someone. I mean, it's just common courtesy. Like the southern hospitality that you saw from the couple next door. Like, that was nice. You know, gotta give props to my people.
Yeah, and I even see like that happening when you're, 18 to 25-ish, where you're not really
or
thinking,
you're just
but I'm
like Tony.
yeah, that too. But like, I just didn't get, like, it just made me so mad. I was just steaming the whole night.
Oh yeah, like I helped a buddy move on about 2 years ago, and he's moved like 3 times since. Ever since then, he's gotten movers because he goes, yeah, I'm too old for this stuff. I mean, like, it's not he's too old. Like, I could go in and help him, but it's one of those, yeah, I've got enough money, and I'm gonna be considerate of my friends and not just buy them beer and pizza or whatever and help them. I'm gonna pay someone else to do it. One, it's a lot easier. It's a lot less work, and like that was with me. Like, I moved like 5 miles, and finally I was like, I've got too much shit to ask people to move. Like, there's a threshold. Like, if you're going apartment to apartment, you're kind of in that age where you can go, yeah, I can do that. But when you're like house to house, you got a lot of shit. Fuck that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and let's all agree on this. Pizza is not a reward, right?
I mean, can we all agree on this? It's like the last thing I want to do after my body's filled with lactic acid is fill it with like greasy ass pizza. Like, it's not a reward. It's more of a punishment.
I would have taken that over the stiff handshake, and that was the last thing I've heard from him.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh god.
I would have been happy with just a fucking hot and ready from Little Caesars for $5. Like, anything, dude. They were like, thanks so much. That was awesome. See you on Monday. See you in English.
Dude, I mean, like, seriously.
I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, there's no offer of anything? And I'm not trying to be selfish here, but are you serious?
Are you, like fucking A. Like, dude, like the movers that I paid to move me up here to Denver, I fucking bought them Chick-fil-A. Like, because they're going to fucking work throughout the whole day. All right, I'm fucking pissed. I'm Brian level pissed right now. Goddamn assholes.
Welcome to my world.
I'm like, I could go off. I'm not going to.
Well, how about this, Craig? You told us a story that was pretty embarrassing for them, right? Like they, like honestly, when they look back on this
whether
day,
they
they're
recognize it or not.
yeah, no,
Fucking
they'll probably look
assholes.
back on this
I guarantee you
later
they
in life
didn't.
and be embarrassed. So why don't you share an embarrassing story of your own?
Craig doesn't want to talk anymore.
So I'm gonna start off with one that is, it was completely unintentional, and that's the biggest thing here.
Okay.
Completely unintentional. We were out to eat. It was a group of us. I know my buddy Kirk, my buddy Jeff. You guys know him, but we were all out, and they had girlfriends there, significant others, everybody. Like, there's more people besides just us, 3 guys, and it was like a whole group. There's like 12, 15, 20 of us. We went out to Red Robin.
Yum.
And at the time, Kirk was dating or something akin to dating with one of the girls that was on the track team. And if you guys remember, she, and to explain to everybody else, her and 2 of her friends got in I'm not going to say names, but you guys should be able to pick up who it was. They got into an accident when they were pretty young, I think like in sophomores or freshmen, something like that.
Yeah.
On one of the roads, and it was 2 twins and the girl that Kirk was dating. And they weren't dating at the time, but like it ended up being her. It was those 3 in a car, the twins and the future Kirk girlfriend. And I don't know. I don't remember if it was a drunk driver or if it was just really snowy out or what happened.
Both.
But they're both. So it was really snowy and there was a drunk driver, and it took the car out, and they were all in critical condition for a while. And one of them died that night as well. One of the twins died that night. So we're out at Round Robin, Red Robin. We're at Red Robin. We're eating, and they had like the X Games up, right? And so I'm just sitting there watching the X Games. I don't have a girlfriend or anybody there, so I'm just sitting next to Kirk, and his girl's pretty nearby, sitting there watching it. I'm not really paying attention at all to what's kind of really going around me. I'm just sitting there kind of vegging out watching this. I wasn't really in with that group at the time. And so I was there, but kind of talking, but they all had their inside jokes. So I was feeling a little left out and whatnot. And so I was just watching the TV, basically watching this. And I just kind of was saying to myself, because this guy went up on a skateboard, like on this massive, massive ramp, like a huge, it's like one of those, they're trying to get big air the whole time. So he's on the skateboard and like going straight up a really tall half pipe, and they're trying to get as high as possible. He goes up in the air and he's like super high up, and he loses the skateboard and he falls straight down, hits the corner. It looks like he jams his head on the ground, something like that. And the guy just sits there for a second. You can see him breathing. Then he kind of like sits up and like gives the thumbs up and stuff like that. I was like, holy crap. Again, I'm talking to myself. I'm not even thinking about anybody being there. I was like, holy crap. I was like, are you serious? I was like, that was probably the equivalent of like a 35 mile an hour car accident, which, I can't remember exactly how I said it, but I implied that was probably the same force of like a slower car accident, a 35 mile an hour car accident. And he jumps out of it, and there's other people that don't come out of it. And
Ooh.
I look, and I'm
Ouch.
like right kind of across, and she kind of heard me and like looked down at her thing. I was like, that is not what I meant. That is not what I meant. That is not what I was going for. I was just like thinking about how the velocities might be kind of similar. So I was like, oh shit.
There's no saving that.
There was no saving. So I didn't say anything. I just sat there and quietly ate my food for the rest of the night, bid them adieu when I left, and just didn't talk for like 3 months. That was probably one of the more, one of those ones. It's one of those ones I think about at night still and go, God, I'm a fucking asshole. I'm such a fucking asshole.
I like in the same vein, I actually did that once at a funeral where literally it was for somebody's grandfather, and they literally had just like the hearse was just away. And I turned to the person, and it's like one of those things I still think about to this day. And I go, how you doing? And I'm like, that's like the word, but I said it like the tonal shift of it was not right for the moment at all. Like I meant to be like, I'm like, hey, how you doing? But it came out as like a, how you doing, champ? Like, and I'm like, oh Jesus, no! Like, why did I lose vocal control at this moment? Like, and to this day, I still think about that moment of like, oh my God, like they don't remember it, because they were, in the moment and stuff. But like, I think about it. So, oh God.
So I got a story pretty much about clothing. So like I'm I really don't get that embarrassed. If I do, I'm kind of like, whatever. That was funny. So going along the lines of your story, Brian. So I went to a funeral, and it was of a person at the church that we went to in Houston, and her like 18 or 19-year-old daughter basically got sick on Friday and died on Monday. Like, very tragic, but apparently, like, I don't know, we won't get into the whole clairvoyant stuff, but anyways, like, she was like distraught, all this stuff, and I was like, okay. But during the announcement at church, they go, we want this to be a cheerful event. Please come wear something bright. She was a great person, bright personality. I was like, okay, I can do that. I'll wear jeans and a t-shirt, because they didn't want anything formal. They didn't want black. I'm like, I will actually go to this funeral because I don't have to wear a suit. I'll pull the Barney Stinson, right?
Mm-hmm,
That's what I'm thinking. So go to the service. Beautiful service. Cried my eyes out. It was touching. Left. I looked down at my shirt and realized it probably was not the most appropriate shirt. Basically, there was a plate with bacon and eggs. There was a kind of a square police line around it, and a chicken and a pig looking in it with eyes wide open, going.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
And I just took a selfie, and I went, probably not the best shirt to wear at a funeral.
Wow.
So I'm sure a lot of people would be embarrassed for me. I told my mom, she goes, John Burke, you're so insensitive. And I was like, it didn't bother me. I said to wear something bright. I just grabbed the first thing I saw.
Oh my god! I'm cringing over your story.
So yeah. All right. So I'll tell you another story that's not as cringeworthy, but still fun. So I was on a business trip, and I was basically going from Kansas City all the way down to Oklahoma, back down into Texas, going from corporate office to refineries to corporate offices, right? So I didn't think about it, and it was one of my first business trips. I was young. I just brought really nice, business dress attire, like suits, not thinking I'm going to a refinery.
Oh.
So needless to say, I show up in, really nice, business casual. I don't think I was wearing a suit to the refinery, because I was like, I probably don't need that. So anyways, I show up, and I'm teaching, I'm basically giving all the IT guys instruction on the next couple of weeks, what they're going to be doing, and the whole process is a migration effort. So anyways, I show up day one. I find it's in this little bitty town that the company's named after, and it's Coffeyville. I think it was Kansas, right on the border of Kansas and Oklahoma. So Coffeyville, Kansas. And I decide I'm going to go to the local coffee house, because there's no Starbucks. There's one stoplight in this town. And I'm like, I'll go to this local coffee house, get a venti, mocha or something. I think it was a mocha. So finally get there, walk in. I've talked to these guys on the phone, and I walk into the refinery, and they go, you can't come in here with a beard. And I went, crap. They go, well, as long as you stay out here, you'll be okay. I was all right. So I continue walking, and they start leading me up the stairs. I start going up these stairs, and I trip.
Oh no!
Nice.
And mind you, I have not maybe like 5 sips of my coffee, and it's a venti, so it's a lot of coffee. And the coffee goes everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Like the walls were like this kind of blue. It was like half blue at the bottom, and then there was like kind of a beige white up top, and, of like cinder block bricks and all this stuff. And I'm talking, like, I fell up the stairs, smashed the coffee. It goes everywhere. Like up the stairs, somehow freaking behind me across the hall, it is like there's just lines of chocolate mocha like painted the wall, and there's like an outline of me. I have no clue how this is fucking happening, but I'm like, okay, here we go. So needless to say, I spilt coffee on myself in Coffeyville, Kansas. And,
I mean,
yeah.
It's appropriate. It's appropriate.
It was. And funny story, like, so never saw these guys again until
They remember you.
until they decide they're going to come back and work with us for something else. And I'm talking to the guy on the phone trying to sell him some shit. and I go in and so I'm on the phone, and they go, oh, I'm here in Texas. So I was like, all right, I'll drive over. So I drove over, go see him. And he goes, you got any coffee? I'm like, nope. I now no longer use disposable cups. I'm always got a sippy cup lid, so I don't spill it. Like the funny thing, I wasn't even embarrassed. It was it's a phenomenal story. Like I just love it. Like, but a lot of people were embarrassed for me, and I'm like, nah, whatever. Anyways,
Well, how about you, Michelle? Ruined any funerals lately?
No, not exactly. So, actually last night, I don't know if you guys saw in the news, but they were hyping up this big snowstorm, up and down the East Coast, and it was supposed to be the apocalypse and yada yada yada. And I think we ended up with 3 inches of snow. So by 2 p.m., the roads were clear, there was nothing going on, nothing that should have been causing people to get in accidents. And my workers were talking about some huge 5-car pileup, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with people? There's no snow on the ground. Why can't these idiots handle this dry road? And they kind of look at me and they're like, this is last week and my niece died. And I was like, oh. It turns out the niece was not at fault at all. So it was just it was completely somebody else's fault, but I was just like, wow.
Yeah. Oh, that took a turn. I was like, oh.
And then the only other thing that I could really think of that was really embarrassing for me was I am tone deaf, not a good singer at all. And I was, I think, 14 or 15, and my sister was a year or two younger, and she is a decent singer. And we were visiting my dad, and we were at a bar that had karaoke, and it's this super small town local thing. They know who we are, so they let us in because they know we're not drinking or anything. And they're doing karaoke, and my sister's like, come on. And I was like, no, what the hell's wrong with you? And she's like, no, come on, it'll be fun, whatever. So we get up there, and she turns off her microphone in the middle of the song.
So it was just you?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, hey.
How you guys doing? Aw. Well, see, I'm glad that we've kind of had a tonal shift to those types of ones, because to the little happier ones, because I have plenty of embarrassing stories, and actually, in truth, most of them involve me during a select 3 years of my life, which I think was between 6th and 8th grade for some reason.
Worst years ever.
Yeah, for some reason, I had really crazy bad luck during that time, or for whatever reason. And
Wait. What's your name?
Brian?
And you had bad luck?
Oh, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hashtag memes.
Bad luck,
Okay.
Brian. It's a meme. Okay.
No.
Screw
So,
you
okay,
guys.
give you an example of some of the a couple of things that happened during that time. All right, one of the first ones that I remember being terribly embarrassed about was, okay, so let me ask you a question. This is for Burke and Craig, all right? When you get home for the day, I'm assuming, Craig, that you went out, okay? And you're wearing, I don't know why, but you're wearing actually long pants instead of your shorts, okay? So you get back, and
I don't follow, but go ahead.
Okay, then you get back from a day out, and you go to hop in the shower, okay? You obviously will have to remove all your clothes to get in the shower. Do you ever accidentally sometimes leave your underwear in your jeans or in your pants? You know what I mean? Like you forget to either take them out and throw them in the washer or whatever, right?
I would say that is a daily occurrence for me still. I just take them all off at once, and everything's just in a big pile, still connected.
Right. Okay. So
by the time
that's usually
by the time I go to wash them, I separate out. But
yeah, exactly.
You
take them off, you throw them in a pile, right? So I was in middle school, and I had done that, except for I got up in the morning, and I was late to get going, so I had thrown on fresh clothes, except for the jeans I grabbed off the floor off the night before, right? So I'm there. It's early morning, and if you got to school early, you could go to the gym to play basketball. So I was in the gym playing basketball as always, just killing time before the school day started. And somebody says, hey Brian, what's that? It's on your pant leg. And I look down and I realize, and I have this like instant realization where like the time stops, and I'm like, and my old pair of underwear from the day before was in my pant leg and sliding out, right? And I'm like, oh shit. So what I do is I go, oh, it's part of my sock, and I tuck it down into my shoe, and I'm like, and so I spend the rest of the game like only pivoting off of one foot until I could like sneak to the locker and dump my old pair of underwear in there until I could get home for the day. I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Like it was, oh my God. I remember being as a kid, like so, oh, that was horrible. Oh, that was an awful feeling.
I only had one other one, and Burke and Brian, you'll be the two that would be able to understand this one. It was in the probably same time frame. I think it was grade. And without being too out there and explaining things, so during that time, as everybody has heard, that's when people's bodies are going through changes, and there are certain things in the male anatomy that will we'll say have a mind of their own for no apparent reason.
He's talking about the butt.
Yes. And there's that classic joke of being called up to the chalkboard to write something right at the wrong exact time. And I have unfortunately had that happen.
Ooh.
And it was like my name got called and my heart and stomach and everything besides one thing dropped. Like it was the most like, holy shit, no, please no, please no, please no, please no, please no. And so like I sat there and like delayed by trying to grab like papers, and it was something very, very simple to do that required no papers. And she was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just grabbing my notes real quick. I'm just trying to delay as much as possible, to the point where I delayed too much. And she goes, Craig, go out in the hall. I was like, this isn't any better. I still have to stand up at this point. So I like grabbed all of my stuff and tried to cleverly place things. And I think right at that moment when I started getting up and where I had things held, and I don't know if it was too suspicious or not suspicious. I don't really, at this point, who knows? I think she looked and went, oh shit, like, and understood.
Oh.
And we had like one of those meetings. And so later on, she just called me back in, didn't look me in the eyes. And I just went and sat back down after I was out there for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something like that. But I think that was one of the only ones that was like in school. Something happened that was really like in front of, like a class or something like that, where something like that happened.
Yeah. Well, in that case, if you got away with only one, then that's lucky. Because like I remember another instance of the same time period where I had gone into school, and while I'm sitting at my desk and I'm like, God, something smells awful. What smells so awful? And I couldn't figure it out, right? And everyone around me was thinking the same thing. Like we were all in agreement that something wasn't right. And then I made the terrible realization that I had stepped in a big pile of dog shit in the morning. So like my entire shoe was just covered in poop. So I was like, uh-oh. So I kept my foot perfectly flat, and that actually was able to like mask it for at least a little bit better, obviously, than if I were to pick it up and wave it around, right? So I'm like, all right, I can't just get up and go to the bathroom because they're all going to think that I was just farting, and then like, so that makes it worse somehow. And so I'm kind of caught in this like catch-22 of like, if I get up and leave, they're all going to go, Brian's the shitter. But if I stay seated, then we have this weird smell, and if I cover it on my foot, I'm double fucked, right? So eventually the class ends, and I go over to the restroom. But this is where the story gets actually worse, and this is where the embarrassment part comes in. It wasn't bad enough that I had dog shit on my shoe, or the fact that I was trying to hide it in the class, or the fact that I had it on there. It was the fact that I go into the stall, and I had to use like a pencil that I ended up throwing away, of course, to scrape it off. And as I'm scraping it off in there, it's like somebody had walked in and heard and like it could smell, obviously, the smell of shit, but they also could like hear like from a really high distance, and they go, wow. Brian, are you standing? I go, well, yeah, and I did, of course, they're not going to listen, so they go, Brian. So they yell out, Brian's a squatter. He squats. He doesn't even sit on the toilet. I'm like, oh God. And then like they run out the door, and I'm standing there with a shit covered shoe, a smelly ass pencil, and I'm like, fuck, I hate school. Like,
That's the kind of shit that it was awful.
Okay, so I actually have a
I'm
question
sorry,
when
Craig.
Craig's done being broken.
Craig's picturing me doing this because he knows that I would do all of these things.
Craig was actually the kid that ran out and you didn't even know
Oh
it
my
all
god,
these
if you
years.
were, you son of a bitch.
No, it wasn't. But that would have been even better. I would have admitted that so fast.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Craig.
Oh, that is great. I am so sorry.
No. It's cool. It wasn't a whole traumatizing experience or anything, but whatever.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's fine. So I was gonna actually ask, kind of the opposite of that. In that situation, somebody else made the situation worse. But I actually wanted to know, because I just thought of one, if you guys had a story where it was embarrassing, but like somebody helped you kind of cover it up really well.
Ooh. No, most everyone would have thrown me under the bus further.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got one where we helped each other out.
Really?
So
I don't know if you guys just have like asshole friends or something. Like, damn.
Well,
Yeah, well, it's also kind of the guy culture. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
and you
it
kind of
is.
make fun of each other.
Did I tell you about the embarrassing story about me at Marble Slab when I was working in the back?
I don't.
Was this
with the
yeah,
kid
yeah,
girl?
about the garbage.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
yeah.
I don't know if that was on record, but
Yes,
anyways,
no,
I don't
no.
know.
It was.
That was an embarrassing
Yes,
one.
Sounds
That
like
was an
yes. Don't
embarrassing
worry,
one.
that is well documented.
Yeah. Anyways,
Oh.
that probably would be one of the most embarrassing ones.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, anytime you do something like that, and the people walking in the room, you're like, "Hello."
Yeah. I did get the only time I had detention one time was I was basically like keeping a guy from telling a girl that I liked her, and I got detention for punching a minority student, even though
It had nothing
I
to do
was,
with
like-
that, of course. It was.
I was like seriously, like I was holding him back, and like he was one of my best friends. Like literally, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So yeah, I was embarrassed during that whole time though. But like that's about it for my embarrassing stories.
Oh my god.
I've got one other one that since you brought up the smelling thing, Brian, I've got one. And this is bad decisions built into making me feel embarrassed. So there was a week where my parents went on vacation, and it was during the school year. It was in, I think, 6th grade. I'm pretty sure, and it was during basketball season. And I want to say that my buddy, I stayed at his house. His parents were on like a vacation or something similar as well, because I don't remember them being there all that often. So maybe it was like during half the time. His parents were divorced, and so his mom would come over to his dad's house and like wake us up and do this other stuff. Like she had to pick up something and do something or whatever, but she would come over, and I just remember it basically being him and I that entire week. And like, it was one of those things where I felt embarrassed about saying something about going and taking a shower. This is 6th grade. I should have had much more wherewithal to be like, I'm just going to go shower. But for some reason, it like embarrassed me to say like, hey, I need to go shower. I have no idea why, but I was. And so it was a full like Monday through Friday for school where I was too embarrassed to say anything about wanting to go take a shower. So I didn't end up doing it for an entire week.
Oh,
And you know how bad I sweat in the first place.
Wow.
That's
I was also
awful.
playing basketball every night. We had practices or games every single night. And I remember at the very end of it, like, I know I was getting smirks and like talk behind my back. Luckily enough, nobody really said anything like directly to me, so it wasn't like completely traumatizing. But I could tell like there was a definite like, yeah, we're gonna stay away from you this whole time, right? And it was one of those things where I got home, and I remember because my sister went and stayed somewhere else with a friend, and I remember it was on Saturday. I went and got home, and the first thing I did, we got there before my parents even did. Like, they dropped us back off at the house before my parents got there. And we were there the whole day without my parents. And the first thing I did was ran straight up to my room. And I was like, take all these stupid clothes out and threw them down to the ground. I ran, sprinted, dove right into the shower, turned the water on, and sat there crying, like crouched and holding my knees like you would, as you do. when that kind of situation happens.
As
But
is
I remember that being, and that might actually be the start of where I'm like, I have to shower every single day and I can't miss it. And this is how I do my day. It's how I start. It's shower time. Let's go. That might have been the start of it for all I know.
Oh man, yeah. No, that's showering. That's pretty. Did you guys ever shower at the school? Like, was that a thing? Like, after maybe your basketball or football practice or anything?
Yeah. From sophomore year on, it was after I showered after every game, and I think I showered after every practice. I think pretty much from sophomore year on for every sport that I could.
I really didn't, just because there wasn't a locker room and I wasn't really sporty guy.
Michelle, did you do ever shower at the school itself?
No.
See, like, I never did either, but it was one of those things where, like, there were moments where it was, like, quote unquote necessary for me to shower. Like, I would be like, okay, post football, but like we're gonna do something or whatever. So I'm like, crap, I gotta actually like go in and shower. So I would like I was that guy that was like, I don't like to. I mean, now I'll go to the gym and I'm like the old guys at the gym in the men's locker room just walking around like I don't care anymore. But like at the time I was the like I was very, very shy. So I was like, I'm gonna wear my underwear in the shower.
I was that guy. I was definitely there until in basketball sophomore year is what it ended up being. Our coach forced us to shower after games for some reason. Like it was supposed to be a team bonding experience because our team was really split. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but like our team didn't like each other. And so it was like, you guys need to shower up before because you guys all whatever. And there'll be a blah. And it's like, this is really weird. And so that started it. And then I ended up going, I kind of like this. Like I'm sweaty. I shower. I'm done. I'm good for the night. Like I don't need to. I kind of ended up liking it.
Yeah.
It never really bothered me because like I went to the college Craig and I went to. It didn't really have or it didn't have communal showers. They had actually like stalls. But by college I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. We had this. There was this character called Firefighter Burke. That would walk around, and basically on Wednesday nights we would go to Chick-fil-A or one of those nights because it was kid nights and you could get a bunch of food for really cheap. And then one night they were giving out firefighter hats. So I was like, oh, cool, firefighter hat. And it was like little cheap plastic thing. And needless to say, I don't know how it started, but I just started walking around with just a firefighter hat on.
Oh yeah, there you
over my crotch. Over my crotch.
Oh,
so
kind of ruins it. I thought it was just a hat on your head. Like that was funny to me.
I'm sorry, Michelle. I mean, Craig. I'm sorry, Craig. But anyways,
I was like, why are you apologizing to me?
So anyway, I would walk around and just go sit in people's dorms. You know, everyone's like, "God damn it, Burke!" And I'm like, "It's firefighter Burke." So there was one time
to you.
That's cheap to you. So there was one time. There was this art student or photography student taking pictures in the dorm, like, you know, doing his little artsy stuff. And I walk, do you need a subject? And I was like fully dressed, like backpack, like coming back to the dorm from class. And he goes, sure, why not? Run to my room, strip all my clothes off, grab my firefighter hat, walk around a corner. And I go, how's this work?
Oh my God.
Did not know the guy. He goes, I'm good. Turns around and walks off.
You probably thought you were hitting on him.
Yeah, I probably did.
I mean, you coming out like a village person.
Oh, no.
I mean, geez.
Yeah. So anyways, that's enough of stories and whatnot. So I have a quiz.
Oh, good.
Yes, it was hard to come up with like stuff for embarrassing stuff, like literally. Let's go with top 10 embarrassing stories, and I googled it, right? And or embarrassing moments, and here's the Reader's Digest: wardrobe malfunction, loss for words, mistaken a baby bump. I mean, granted, all the stuff can be. I'm like, I want stories, right? So,
right.
I kind of went with. I started out going with some true false, and then I came up with this little theme about few questions in, and it revolves around Darwin Awards.
Oh,
so
nice.
So when we get to that, I'll basically how it's going to go is I'll read a story and give an example of the title, and from then on out, it's y'all's job to either make up a title or guess the title, and I'll give points out based on that. All right.
Okay.
So So the
That's
second part
fun.
will probably be a lot better than the first. But anyways, okay. So I don't even like the first question. Let's just get rid of that one. All right. So true or false? And of course, I got this one from Cosmopolitan. Because where else do you get embarrassing stories
As
from,
we do.
right? I don't know. True or false? This is obviously not me. But one time I sneezed and my tampon shot out of me like a missile.
I'm going to say that's a true story.
You know what? For opposite sakes, I'm gonna go false.
I'm gonna say true.
It is true. So,
Hey,
yeah.
there we go.
all right, okay. All right. Sorry, I'm girding my scorecard right now, and I will answer by the order y'all answered in because that actually works. Since
Cool.
Michelle went first last week, so Craig's still in the middle, but that's all right. Craig will go first next week. All
Yep.
right, or last, or I don't know. Who knows? Okay. Regardless, question number 2. This is actually or you'll have to guess true or false, and this involves my family. One of the wardrobe malfunctions I actually read on Reader's Digest was mistakenly tucking your shirt into your underwear.
Oh yeah.
So- So,
Oh, sorry.
but true or false? My father does this.
Oh, I thought that. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the question was, do people tuck their shirts in
No.
their underwear? I was going to say, hell yes, because I've done it. But
Does my
I will
father
say-
do this?
I'm going to say yes. Even though I've never met your
I'm going
father
with
and know
Big
nothing
Ro-
about him, I will assume that he has pulled this maneuver.
I'm going with Big Rod does this all the time.
True.
It is true. It's only his undershirt, but it does. He goes, it keeps it in place better, and I'm like,
He's not
so
wrong.
embarrassing. In his whitey tidies. In his whitey tidies.
Yeah, no,
And true
he's
or
not
false?
wrong.
Brian does this as well. Okay. All right.
No, he keeps it in his shoe.
Damn you!
At least it wasn't a condom that you forgot to take off, and that didn't fall out of your pants. I've actually heard a story of that happening, so that would be pretty embarrassing.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, no, that would be extremely bad.
Okay, here's actually a Darwin Award, but it's I basically, this is a finish the story. All right, so there's a guy driving down a mountain road. The brakes fail, and he jumps out, but he mistakenly forgets to tell everyone else in the car. What happens next?
What happens next is the car. Say is he going downhill the whole time? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's on a mountain road, with
Oh,
with like
damn.
cliffs on the side or something like that.
Oh, okay. It's in that case he jumps out. Jumps off of the cliff, and the family glides to safety.
All right.
Damn, that was roughly what I was going to say was he jumps out but hits and rolls down the mountainside, and the car maybe not gently but stops like into a wall or like the mountain wall or something like that, and kind of like just stops, and everybody's safe in the car, but he bailed out and killed himself.
Okay.
I was kind of thinking the opposite. Like, he jumps out and the car goes like careening off a cliff, and for some reason he goes after it and he gets caught in the wreckage when he goes after it.
All right. So Craig and Brian are the closest. I will give them both a point on this one. So here's the wording. Excuse me. In a truly heroic maneuver, the guy's name is Marco. Marco leapt from a moving vehicle before it careened off a cliff edge without telling anyone else about the brakes. Thankfully, one of the passengers stepped in and saved the day, managing to bring the van to a halt. When they walked back, they found Marco had fatally miscalculated his cowardly leap to safety and hit his head on the pavement, killing himself.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Yes.
At least off the cliff would have been more humane.
I know.
than-
I know. All right. Question number 4. Eric was going bungee jumping. He tied together the bungee cords to the appropriate length. What happened next?
Oh, he forgot to tie it to the whatever he was jumping off of.
Okay.
Damn it, Brian!
Yeah, I don't like going last on this quiz.
I'm gonna go with he tied him for the appropriate length, but he forgot about the stretching effect, and so he hit his head on the ground.
Okay.
I'm going to say he did both. He was stupid enough to do both. He forgot to attach it and didn't calculate it.
The correct answer was, let's see here. He measured out the bungee cords for the 70-foot bridge, but forgot they stretched. So Craig
there
wins,
it
and I
is.
will give Michelle half a point for that one. All right, Michelle, we'll let you go first on this one. In 1999, a paraglider named Craig from Riverton in Utah decided he'd try out a new soft way to land. He splashed down in a canal. What happened?
I'm going to say that he couldn't detach himself from the equipment and ended up drowning.
I'm going to say he did not think about how thick water was, and he actually detached himself decently well. And he was going for like I'm jumping off the thing and going into the water, and completely forgot about that. Like at 50 feet, it's basically going to break your neck if you hit the wrong way.
All right.
And I'm torn between, because canals aren't necessarily super deep. So it's like in my head, I'm thinking either he went in too shallow and he did that, or my other thought is, and this is the one I'm going to go with, he was hit by a boat.
I do like he was hit by a boat. Michelle pretty much hit it on the head. Basically, the guy goes, he forgot water was wet and there was a current. And basically the parachute from the paraglide thing pulled him underwater and he drowned.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I like the boat.
I do
though.
like the boat. You get half a point for
I do too.
creativity on that one.
That's a good answer.
That's good.
Hey, thank you.
Okay. Let's see here. Question number 7. Robert decided to attempt something no one had ever done before. Ride a jet ski off of Niagara Falls. But yeah, that was kind of my reaction when I read
I
this.
think we already figured out how he died, but
Yeah.
okay.
So, this time you have to figure out what went wrong, okay? His plan, genius, he goes, he fitted his jet ski with a rocket booster.
I like Robert already.
And had a parachute on to help his landing out. Obviously something went
Okay.
wrong. What went wrong?
Oh,
I'm gonna go first on this one. So he equipped the rocket booster and he hits this nitrous, right? He hits the NOx and he goes flying off of Niagara Falls here. And he's like, yes! Going right off the edge. And he hits the parachute and he's going at such a high speed that it yanks him back and breaks his neck and he gently floats down dead into the water.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
There's a couple scenarios. One is in which the rocket booster burns through the parachute, but that's a little too easy. The other one is that the rocket booster just explodes and kills him before he even goes over the falls. But I'm going to go with...
All right, you're going to have to pick
I
one
know
of these.
I will.
All right,
I will.
okay.
But I'm going to say the third option is he didn't detach himself from the actual jet ski as he went over, and he had the parachute open, but it didn't matter because he has an extra 1,000-pound jet ski pulling his ass down to the water below. That's what happened.
Okay.
I am going to say that his parachute completely failed.
All
yeah,
right.
it just didn't open. Okay.
So actually, no one was right.
Damn.
The rocket, it was actually quite simple. The rocket booster just didn't go because it was wet. So, needless to say, here's what it was. As he hurtled towards the falls and pressed the button to ignite the rockets, his utterly soaked rocket booster failed to ignite, plummeted off the edge. He tried his parachute, but it wasn't waterproof either, and it failed to deploy.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, because if he's so close to the falls, he's just getting rained
Oh
on.
my god.
Yeah. Yep. I'm actually giving Craig half a point for creativity on that one because that was phenomenally funny. Okay. All right. So we've reached that point where I'm going to go into my Darwin Awards, but the flipped version where you have to name them. So
Okay.
I will read a story and then you have to give me a title of it, creative title. So here's an example. Gary was at a friend's apartment when he spotted a salsa jar containing a mystery fluid that looked like alcohol. He helped himself to it, to a sizable swig. Naturally enough, it was gasoline, so he spit it out. But then, trying to recover from the disgusting smell in his mouth, he lit a cigarette.
Oh, God.
So, needless to say, I don't know if he died or not. But the title of this,
Oh, can I guess?
go for it.
Hothead.
I like it, but it's smoking hot sauce.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, but you're close. That would have given you half a point. Was this a question? But that's kind of the idea of the next few questions on this quiz.
Okay.
All right. Fair
I
enough.
like it. I like it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So question, I believe this is number 7. And this boy did not die, but he was just badly injured. So the 17-year-old boy found an M80 explosive at his grandmother's house. Obviously, most of us know these are illegal because they were, too explosive and not deemed safe for the public. So he took it to his room to examine and began repeatedly to light and extinguish the fuse. During one of these cycles, the fuse would not go out. So he jammed the tube between his thighs and hands,
Oh God.
thinking to muffle the sound of the explosion. Obviously, this did not work as it exploded and he lost some of his limbs and possibly his genitals. What is the title of this award?
Oh my God.
And let's go with Michelle first on this one.
To grandmother's house we blow.
Oh, nice.
I am not beating that. I am not beating that. Dear Lord.
Oh, that was good. That was
Wow. Mine was
Oh,
so
wow.
vastly inferior.
Okay.
I mean, mine was just like seriously. I was thinking about it. Now I can't think of anything but hers because that was so good. Like the only one I had was like fire worked, but that was barely not even a joke at that point.
Negative 0.5.
That's what I'm saying.
for Brian.
I can't even think of a good one after that because that was just the perfect answer.
The only thing I had was a play off of, the only thing I could think about was the Mario Party one where you have to ground pound down on the fuses before they blow up. It's a 2v2 game.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I could think about. And so for some reason, Tube It or Lose It was the name that came to my head. So I went with Diffuse It or Lose It.
Yeah, it's like I always thought of like
all I could
Party
come up
Popper, and it's like none of them are as good as what Michelle said. Like, let's be honest.
So the actual answer on the Darwin's Awards website was Muffled Explosion. I like Michelle's better.
Way better.
Yeah.
The other one I saw when I was looking through this was Roasted Nuts.
Oh,
So
that's good
I
too.
would have given it a full point for that one, but Michelle gets the point. That was good. All right. Question number 8. Okay. A man who was going through a divorce and was apparently very dissatisfied with something for some reason, went to a farm and started touching a cow. Needless to say, he was trampled to death and was found underneath the body of this cow, lying naked. And the cow was very frightened, according to authorities. What would this be called? Let's go with Craig first this time.
The only thing I've got is utterly embarrassing.
It's punny. It's punny.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, Brian.
I'm trying. I was trying to come up with something that would be along those lines of utter, but now I have to switch gears. So I want to say he vitamin dicked up for vitamin D. That's all I could think of.
Negative 0.5.
I got nothing for that one, man.
Oh my god. I honestly I can't think of anything. Are you wanting us to come up with a creative answer or actually be close to what they gave?
I'm okay with creative answers. I like creative answers.
Okay. I don't have one for this one, so I'm going to try to guess what they actually called it. And they're not very creative, so I'm just going to say it's just cow stampede.
It was close. Craig's going to go get the whole point since no one else was close. The actual answer was a cowardly death.
That's good.
A lot of these are kind of punny. So.
Yeah, that one I
The-
like.
All right.
The only other thing I had was something like playing with bull by the horns, but changing horns to horny. That was the only thing I could come up with other than the utterly one.
Yeah, I was like move it or lose it, but I was like move it or lose it, but I couldn't think of something with that.
All right. So this one's probably more on the risky end, even compared with the last one. Referred to as a distracted driver, Clifford, 58, was driving without pants, without a seatbelt, and watching a porno on his mobile device. At a wide open
As
sun.
you do.
Yeah, so, how else? While driving on a freeway I-75, it's actually specific. He also had a wide open sunroof, and it was a cold winter Sunday. So, He should have kept his hands on the wheel instead of the stick. In the wee hours at 3:40 a.m., Clifford's Toyota went out of control. He crashed. This is kind of funny. Ejaculating our hero through the sunroof into a spectacular climax of his life.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Come and gone, Clifford and his beloved Winky will be fondly remembered in our archives. What is the title of this award?
I'm first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll go first.
The answer to this one is clear. Clifford the Big Red Dong.
You bastard.
What I can't do anything to beat that. Michelle, do you have anything?
I was gonna say like Clifford the red-dicked asshole.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah, the only thing I could do was a pun on stick shift.
Okay. All right.
Manual stick shift. I don't know.
All right. The actual title was Masturbator Meets a Hard End. I liked Brian's better. I did. Brian gets the point on that one. That was good.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Let's see. Where are we now? All right. Just a couple, I think 3 or 4 more.
Okay.
Sydney, who's 20, was pinning a king-size mattress on top of a van with the weight of her body, intent on claiming the free curbside fine she had found. When her luck ran out, so she died, obviously. Perhaps the young lady was testing physics theory betting that friction would keep the mattress in place. Unfortunately, she failed. She failed physics. I can't even speak right now. Wow. Anyways, so she died trying to hold a mattress on top of the car. What is the title?
I'm assuming this car was moving, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was moving at a very high velocity. Let's go with Michelle first this time.
Okay.
I got nothing.
I got one for this one.
Go ahead, Brian.
Certified disaster. It works on multiple levels, folks.
That's good.
Yeah, I've got hardly nothing. The van man cometh.
All right, Brian gets the point.
Yay.
It was her sleep number was up.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I did like the certifiably. All right, that's good. All right. This one, I don't even want to do this one. I'll give you the name of this one if we don't come up with anything. So, Edward entered the apartment of a 30-year-old handicapped man. While the man slept peacefully, Edward approached. The man suddenly awoke and grabbed the closest thing to him, which was his crutch, and hit him right between the legs, right in the crotch. He then looked down. The man jumped out the window, trying to escape. Luckily, it was on the first floor, so no fall damage. Mm-hmm. But the man who was attacked looked down at the floor and saw the man's testicle laying on the ground.
Oh.
He called a hospital and 911, who hung up on him, believing it was a prank call. Half an hour later, the thief, who was found in a bloody puddle beside the road, basically yelled out, "Give me back my balls."
Oh my God.
So, the title of this one, and it's not that funny, but I thought it was cute.
One ball short of a walk.
Okay.
I like that one.
All right.
I was just going to call it handball.
All right.
I don't have anything.
As an abbreviation between handicap and ball thing. So.
Yeah, it was actually crutch meet crotch.
I was thinking about having a combination of those two words since they're so close.
Yeah. All right, I'll give Craig half a point for that one. As I said, that was probably my least favorite one. All right, this one's actually a one from last year. I actually read about this at the time. It was a college graduation trip, and Colin decided to veer off the path in Yellowstone National Park. He wanted to get a closer look at the beautiful fountains with the, that have all the different colors. He got there, decided he wanted to maybe, take a bath, feel the water. He failed to notice the signs that were everywhere on the path that said, "You will die." So, turns out, as he reached down to touch the water, the unstable ground that is mentioned on the aforementioned sign failed, and he fell in the water By the time authorities got there, his body had been completely disintegrated by the acidic water bubbling up.
Ooh.
No remains were found. So what is the name of this one?
Colin made a boo-boo.
I don't care who wants to go first.
Boy, that's
He was trying to take a bath or soak in the water.
shoot. I mean,
All right.
I'll just call him No Face. Say just because you've heard of Two Face, he got half his face
He's
burned
got
by
no face.
acid. This guy, he's got no face because he fully disintegrated. There you go.
I stick by
Okay.
my boo-boo comment.
I like it. I like it.
I'm gonna go with "Oh, kill all ye faithful."
I like it. I'm carrying the points of Michelle. That was good. The title was "Soaked to the Bone in Yellowstone."
Okay.
Yeah, I liked Michelle's. That was good. All right, and the last one for tonight, and it's actually very close. We're in 0.5 with everyone, so this will probably decide the winner.
Ooh.
So a bus driver in Brazil was driving down very narrow streets. And if you've ever seen these countries, he was navigating them expertly, taking corners at high speeds. While Jack, a very happy person, started sticking his torso out the window, yelling "woohoo" and stuff like that, because he was a woo girl. So he continues on, eventually almost getting chopped in half because he hit his head against a stone building that he didn't see
Oh.
because of the narrow streets. What is the title of this one?
Jack's not nimble. Jack's not quick.
All right. I like it.
I added to that in my head. Your Jack's not nimble, Jack's not quick. Jack got chopped off right around his dick.
Ooh, look at that. Added on. I love it.
My answer is bodybuilding.
Oh.
Ooh, also good.
Ooh. Oh, man. Dadgummit. It was actually Jack in the bus, but I like it.
Jack in the bus. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. So, and that comes to a conclusion to our quiz. So I don't know. I know we're a little bit over time, so sorry, everybody. But anyways, would we like to know the results?
I would love to know the results, Burke.
Craig and Brian tied with 6 points.
Wow.
Michelle wins with 6.5.
That
Yes.
0.5.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
It's like whose line we're not.
Yeah, I know, right?
That was actually pretty good, Burke. I was thinking half of those questions came from the 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah, they have a lot of those things posted up in Denver.
Oh, did they really?
Like don't jump in front of the train. Like, yeah, that'll do it.
Or did they say why you shouldn't jump in front of the train?
Because you might get dunked on.
That's the one.
Yes.